What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? As you all know, the national tournament just wrapped up for wrestling not too long ago, and just like every tournament, it had its fair share of controversies coming into it. But what I was surprised about was just how much there was, and just how much of it wasn't even related to really anything in the finals. The funny thing is, most of it either went on in the semis, the blood rounds, or not even in the tournament in general. One of the first ones that I wanted to talk about today was the whole controversy with Landon Robu versus PJ Duke and how that match wrapped up. Over the course of the past 3 days, ever since that tournament wrapped up, I have been seeing nothing in comment sections besides Penn State fanboys just absolutely tearing this guy to shreds, dunking on him anytime they can. They're all like, he didn't deserve that win, that call was reversed, which, if you guys don't know what happened, basically, late in the third period, PJ Duke essentially got around to almost finishing a takedown, and he actually managed to cinch in a cradle, and he rolled Landon onto his back for like a split second, and then he rolled back over. Unfortunately, the action, for some reason, was stopped before we got to see the conclusion of that flurry, which, I'll give it to him, very likely would have probably resulted in a takedown for PJ Duke. However, honestly, I think this whole rhetoric about how he didn't deserve the win and it was PJ Duke's final, I think it's a brain-dead take, regardless of who you support or what your fan base is. I think the same thing that my coaches have taught me to think, both high school and college, and that is if you leave it up to the refs, you didn't do enough to win. And obviously, after that happened, it wasn't like it was some fluke win and then you lost immediately. No, he freaking beat Antrell Taylor, really convincingly too. Like, he beat the king of stalling. I still think that Landon definitely deserved that win, regardless of what the refs said, because he was the aggressor through like 99% of that match. He was stalking forward, he was shooting more often, and it paid off. He actually got a clean takedown, and PJ Duke's offense really couldn't get anywhere until late in that third period. So honestly, I think if you're really upset about that, you should reflect on how you perceive wrestling and how you perceive winning matches in general. I think there's not a whole lot that I can really say to you here. If you leave it up to the refs, you didn't do enough to win. There we go. Now, the other big controversy-ish that I wanted to point out, and this one actually kind of is a little bit more relevant. Obviously, AJ Ferrari, he lost to younger Bastida, and that was very likely anticipated to be the finals match. However, they met in the semis, and younger Bastida beat him pretty convincingly. It was not very close at all. It was something like 15-7. And obviously, AJ Ferrari, he gets mollywopped, but he still makes a good comeback. I think he was injured as well in the tournament. He had something like a torn knee. Overall, he didn't medically forfeit out of the tournament, which, beautiful role model. His younger brother, Angelo, should really take notes. But yeah, just in general, it was still a solid tournament by AJ, but I think what kind of mars his performance, and especially for somebody on that level of notoriety in the sport, he has a massive following, very well known, is he hops on social media and in the press conference after, he basically kind of accuses, but not really accuses, but still accuses younger Bastida of being on something, claiming that he should be piss tested.
You see what it looks like? Listen, I'm not going to say things, I'm going to make accusations, because I know the facts. But the facts are, you saw him when he was 19 or 20, just like me. No acne, no back knee, no nothing. Look at him now. Tons of acne, tons of back knee. So whoever's running the testing protocol for testing HGH probably should go test some people, not just in the season, but outside the season, because he gained 30 pounds of muscle, but hey.
And whether or not that's true, in the press conference after the match and on social media, that's not the place to make it. And I don't know, maybe there's some merit to it. Maybe younger Bastida has gotten a lot bigger in a very short amount of time. Maybe he's gotten a lot more acne. These are all signs that maybe he could be on some kind of PEDs and he cleverly scheduled around a testing window, and maybe that could be the case. However, that's not AJ's call to make, especially in that moment. And what really rubbed me the wrong way, and what I feel like most people would rub the wrong way about this too, is when he made an Instagram post the following day, basically saying that, guys, it was actually a joke. The accusation that I levied, that I just now realized that I can actually kind of get sued for probably defamation of character. I'm not really sure what grounds a legal battle could have with that. But, he realized that, hey, either way, legal action or not, this is not a good look for me. So he plays it off as, I was actually joking. Which, we get it. You're upset, and you think there's a chance that the dude could be possibly doping. However, just own that shit. It's a better look if you just go out there and say it with your chest. That's what you're known for. You're known for being this big voice in the sport that always tells the truth. Own it. own it. Yeah, go ahead, accuse younger Bastida of cheating. And honestly, I like AJ Ferrari, but I still think he came across as a very big douchebag in this scenario. And I think that the Instagram post was just kind of a cowardly thing where it was just like, oh no, it was actually a joke. He tagged every wrestler that he beat and he lost to in the season. And it was kind of weird, and every other guy was in his comment section like being, oh my god, like you're such a good sport, and obviously younger Bastida's missing because he just got called out for doping by him. Why play the semantics game? I just gotta think. Honestly, I would have really liked to see one of either option. Either you completely retract it or you double down completely. Not this wishy-washy like, oh, I was actually joking, but I'm really not. Like, come on, man. Have a little bit of controversy with some sportsmanship issues, potentially. We had Mitchell Mesenbrink. Obviously, you know, for like the 10th time in the row, he absolutely beat the hell out of Mikey Caliendo. And you know what? You shake hands twice in a match. You shake hands at the end, and you shake hands at the beginning. I understand not wanting to shake his hand again. And in all honesty, I think that it was Mikey Caliendo's prerogative to not. I don't think he was really obligated to. Everybody else obviously did, and that made him, you know, being the only one who didn't look bad, and obviously he just lost to him. But yeah, emotions are high. I get you don't really want to shake the dude's hand, so maybe there's a case for, like, you're being disrespectful and you're being a sore loser, but we really got to think about who it is that's shaking everybody's hand. Mitchell Mesenbrink is like one of the, I don't want to call him fake nice because I think he actually is a good dude, but we've never seen that kind of behavior for him when he loses. Like remember when he wrestled Jordan Burroughs and he was absolutely flipping his shit and being all kinds of disrespectful? Like, where was that? Where was he at on the podium shaking everybody's hand and being such a good sport? Like, everybody kind of pointed this out already, but it just comes across as a little bit performative where you're like, oh, like, hey, good match, everybody. Hey, I just beat you. I just beat you. I just beat you. Like, come on. So in terms of who I think was more in the wrong, I still think, you know, maybe it's a little disrespectful to not shake Mitchell Mesenbrink's hand as, you know, as he's climbing up to the podium, but he's trying to big dog everybody on that stage, especially Mikey Caliendo, because he just beat him so badly, and like, he shouldn't have to shake his hand. He's upset about it, you know, his dreams just got crushed. He never became the national champion he wanted to be. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even fault him. I don't know if I would shake Mitchell Mesenbrink. I think I'm a little too polite. I think I would anyway, but I think Mitchell Mesenbrink, as nice as he is and as good as he is, he just kind of comes off as a douche in this scenario. Honestly, I side more with Mikey. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There are a couple more minor ones, but like, in terms of the really big controversy that happened this weekend, that was the big three that I could really think of. Let me know what you guys thought of these. If you have differing opinions, please let me know in the comment section down below. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Please, guys, I know we can do this. I love you all. Please like the video. Please share it with your friends if you found it entertaining or funny or informative. I don't know. But with that out of the way, have a great day. Peace.